because I always forget. But I can see a bunch of people jumping in already. So welcome, guys. Happy New Year. It's happening. We're back. All these events are coming at you. But while we wait a couple more minutes for more people to join, please jump in on that chat. Happy New Year. Say it. Let's hope it's a better one. But do jump in with your name. Location is always so nice while we're still doing these events online to see where you guys are all tuning in from. And then if it's social media handles and LinkedIn's as well, so we can connect on this event and then off as well. Happy New Year, Hannah. Thank you so much. But do keep that coming. Pop it in the chat. Ben, Happy New Year to you too.
Hello.
What's happening? Yes. I obviously don't want to take too much time because we're joined by the lovely Dina, who I'm sure has got lots to get into. The chat is just going crazy. I love it. Keep that going.
Ooh, John, just a quick one. Some of you are commenting onto panelists only. So if you switch it to panelists and attendees, so everyone can see. And Happy New Year. Over to you.
Yes, you're good. I always forget to mention that one. Yes, do that. Well, should we kick things off? Should we get started? I'll do a little introduction, introduce myself. So I'm John and I'm the Partnerships Manager at General Assembly, which means I reach out to incredible brands and speakers such as Dina to help me deliver these events. Yes, yes, yes. But if you're joining us for the first time and don't know much about General Assembly and who we are and what we do, we are a tech education company offering high-demand skills in tech. And this is through our full-time and part-time courses, classes and workshops, and then these free events where our mission is to empower those to pursue a career they love and help them in the career transition into skills such as UX design, data science, and software engineering. So if you do have any more questions regarding General Assembly, you can connect with me if it's on LinkedIn, so john.furno, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you've got, or you can reach out to our incredible frontline team at london@ga.co. I'll pop that in the chat. Oh, sorry. And then they'll answer any of your questions as well. If you do have any questions during the session, do pop them in that Q&A box and we'll be sure to get to them towards the end. But I feel like that's it. We are also recording, so we'll be sure to send out the recording and then anything Dina wants to pop in there as well after or sometime this week. So do look out for that as well. But that's it. That's me. Dina, take it away.
Hello. I'm overwhelmed from where everyone is calling in from. I saw Seattle, which is 5 a.m. Thank you so much. Also a special shout out to Angela, my sister from Dublin, and special Germany I saw, and New York as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for joining, and also on the replay. Hello, you're also special. So I know that I already like you because you've tuned into this webinar. You've also picked a webinar that has profanity. Oh my God, Philadelphia, hello. Brazil, Belgium. Crap, this is amazing. But yes, you've all tuned into this webinar. You've all tuned into a webinar with profanity in the title, so I like you already. But can I find out one thing? Can you tell me what appealed to you about this webinar? If you can write down, oh, Henry T, thank you so much for joining. Can you write in what appealed to you about this webinar? What shit you'd like to get together? What would you like from this webinar? So you pop this into the comments. And the reason I do this is if we were live, then you would see everyone in the room. And that's obviously a nice thing. You'd be in the room, there'd be a buzz, but we're not live. And so we can't see each other. However, oh my God, the chat is going wild. However, what you can do is get inside people's heads. So you can see, oh my God, I've never seen the chat. Let's go so fast. I'm going to read your comments afterwards, but you read each other's. I've seen motivation, commitment to intentions, inspiration, and kick up the arse. What else am I seeing? Yeah, organized motivation, great together. Thank you so much. Also, we did a special something. We asked you to email me what you'd like to see. So a special thank you to Christy, Olivia, Zoila, Christina, Fiona, Doris, and Jenny. You emailed and with your thoughts, and I've put it all in, compiled it in as well. Not all of it I'm going to cover, but if you have a question that I haven't covered it, stick it in the Q&A box and we'll cover it towards the end. Is that a deal? I'm going to try and cover as much as I can. Okay. So One thing to start us off is we all have our different shit that we want to get together. We're all calling in from different places in the world, but we have one thing in common, and that is we are all together in this January, the first month post the 2020 shit show. So this January asks for a different approach. It asks for something different. It asks for, I think, not smart goals, not 90-day planners, but goals and focus and an approach that is more mentally and emotionally cognizant, or rather cognizant of our emotional and inner landscape. That doesn't mean that we won't get shit done. We will. But I'm approaching this from a completely different approach. My webinar is going to be peppered with positive psychology, because that's my background, you'll get to know that, and really mindful of your energy and your body and your inner world. That is my approach, and I think that's what we need. Because sometimes also we don't realize how stressed we are until after the event has passed, and the event still hasn't passed, so we're still in it. So some of you are going to be like, I'm going to smash this year, and some of you are going to be more pepped up, but I'm still going to give you this very inner world mindful approach. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and get started. I think it's a fitting slide. Channel that inner grandma. So I am your straight talking coach. This is, let me, there we go. No, not that. I saw a quote that I wanted to share with you, and it's a quote by Warren Harding. Let me check that, yes. Warren Harding, and he was running for president in 1920. 1920, well, 1980 to 1920 is when the Spanish flu was wreaking havoc all around the world. So I do like to dip into history and kind of learn from there as well. And I think I found this quote and I thought it was exactly, I think, what we need. America's present need is not heroics, but healing, not nostrums, but normalcy, not revolution, but restoration, not agitation, but adjustment. And boy, do we need that too as well. So healing, not heroics. Or as my coach says, health, not hustle. Right? You agree? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to clear up 2020, clear up, tie up loose ends, clear up energy leaks. I'll tell you exactly what energy leaks are. Then we're going to create our vision. Like I said, no SMART goals, no 90-day planner, but I can recommend someone for that if you stick around the end and you want that. And then when we've set our vision, the thing that's going to get in the way is procrastination, lack of motivation, or just pushing it too hard. Also, not taking our feelings into account. So the last 2 points, I have been cognizant of your inner world, and I've put that in for you to keep in mind when we're doing this. Next, I have to introduce myself, because who the hell is talking at you? So I could have chosen a professional photo, but instead I chose this one. This is me and my stepsister doing the Slavic squat, because we're Slavs. I'm originally Russian, born in Moscow, bred in London, UK. And that kind of, this photo is, shows you kind of what I'm about. I am supportive of creativity and expression. I will travel from North London to South London for your art show, but I don't take life too seriously. I coach, so who I coach, how I coach, and what I focus on. Career changes, quarter life crisis in particular. If you want to know what a quarter life crisis is, I've got that blog on my website. And creatives. I used to be head of coaching for Mastered, which is a career accelerator program for creatives. So the creatives I coached there was photographers, art directors, makeup, hair, but I have since spread out into marketeers, copywriters, UX, design, all of that. How I coach, straight talking, cut the fluff. Science-led. I've got a degree in psychology and a master's in positive psychology and coaching psychology, because I love research, I love knowing what I'm talking about, and I love just the history of psychology and finding out neuroscience and everything else like that. But I have a creative approach. So some of you might have seen my other webinars, The Hero's Journey. I'm big into mythology and creative and storytelling especially. And do people know that acronym? I'm showing my age. It's a good sense of humor. Basically, it's really important that we laugh, because personal development shouldn't be so serious. What I focus on is discovering your potential. I know it's such a cliche, but honestly, when you get to be a coach, you're like, yeah, you try and explain what you do and you just stumble upon cliches and you're like, they were there for a reason. But discover your potential, because you know when you're going through days and you're like, I've got more to give, but I don't know what it is. That was me when I had a quarter life crisis. And I've come out of it and I really want to help you if that's you. But also, if that's not you, if you've got your shit together, you're just thinking, I want clarity in the next step, because clarity is power. I also work with that. Okay, so let's roll. Clearing up energy leaks. I want to ask you, how far and how fast do you think you're going to run with untied shoelaces? Not ideal, is it? Not far. Thank you. And thank you, Sabah Khan, for the woo. Not far, right? Also, the other thing with untied shoelaces, apart from the fact that you won't get far, is you'll be thinking about them. That is what I mean by an energy leak, when your mind is on something else. Now compare that to if you tied up your shoelaces, then you've got all this energy for your run, right? And this kind of metaphor I like, because also that's how we go into January a lot of the time. We run into it and we're like, it's a new year, new me, new leaf. And it's kind of like a dead stop to everything that's been before. But I think we don't, we have to prep ourselves, like tie up our shoelaces, clear up our energy leaks, do that first before we launch in. So, eek. Right. What do I mean by energy leaks? Okay, so I'm going to paint the picture and then I'll give you a list. That's what that blank square is about. So you wake up, you go down into your bathroom or your kitchen, or wherever it is you go in, and you switch on a light, and one light bulb switches on out of 5. Okay, so you're reminded of that thing that you said you're going to do, but you haven't done. Next, you go and look through your inbox and you delete 35 emails straight off the bat, because they're just newsletters you subscribe to but you never read. And you think deleting all of those is quicker than going in, opening up, unsubscribing, and telling them the reason that you unsubscribed. Sure, but you can do the delete every single day. That's an energy leak. Next, you go out the house and you put a coat on and you put your hands in your pockets and you feel a hole. And you're like, that other thing that I didn't do, doing that hole in the pocket. So those are constant reminders throughout the day of things that you haven't done. And therefore they drain your energy because you're still thinking about them. And also they remind you that you're a person that doesn't do things. They remind you that you're a person that doesn't complete things. And when you have those cues around you, those environmental cues, how far and how big do you think you're going to dream? You're not, because you're going to be like, like, let me dream this much, because realistically speaking, that's how much I'm going to achieve. So this is one quick, easy win to start the year, is getting your shit together, is really committing to getting those energy leaks off your list. These are the energy leaks that I'm talking about. So have a peruse whilst I try not to smudge my red lipstick. Unsubscribe from newsletters. Chuck out socks with holes. Cook those recipes you bookmarked. Why? For the taste of it, because you bookmarked it, but because you said you're going to do it and you haven't done it yet. And you're going to feel so much better once you've actually done it. Close your tabs. And this is a really good metaphor actually for like how energy leaks work. You know, you fire up your computer and then there's like 50 tabs come online, and it takes memory and it takes energy for the computer to fire those up. And same thing with you. You have all these things in your to-do list that you haven't done. See to them. See to those ones that have been there from last year. Finally do those things. And then you have so much energy for your run, for your day, for your dreams. Refresh your email signature and update your profile pics. These are the windows into the world. Your LinkedIn pic, your email signature should be a live and breathing thing. I update mine every single time I promote something. So the moment I've got a review and renew, a coaching experience, it's in my signature. You never know who reads them. And honestly, I've had people read them and sign up because of that. Also, I work with a lot of creators who haven't updated their portfolio in about 10 years. I've had one that hadn't updated it in 20 years. So just do it now before you need it. And the last one, finished reading those books, is a reminder to myself more than you. But also, I want to say one thing. I had a quarter life crisis where I didn't know what I was doing. And the reason I got out of it is because I picked up a book that I'd been meaning to read for 4 years and I read it. It was a book on consumer psychology, which was mammoth. It's like an academic book that I said I'd read, and I bought it as I graduated from uni because I was like, I'm going to keep this psychology knowledge going. And then 4 years went by because it was too big to take on the tube. And then I was going to Center Parcs with my mum and my sister because it was my mum's birthday. And I wake up early, so I was like, let me take this mammoth book because that's when I'm going to read it. In the book, I read a chapter on positive psychology field that I hadn't even covered in my psychology book, in my psychology degree. And I was like, what is this? And I inhaled positive psychology. That got me to coaching, which got me to my dream career, which is this. So you never know, I'm going to come back to this point, you never know where the solutions to your problems will lie. Now, over to you. I really want to know your energy leaks because they are so personal to you guys. The Body Keep, Lillian, oh, hi Lillian, yes. The Body Keeps the Score is the most amazing book. And thank you for tuning in. Unwritten blog posts, good, replying to certain emails, finishing the book, clearing my desktop, browser tabs, sending out invoices for old projects, yes. So I'm going to get to the part where you motivate yourself and how to motivate yourself right at the end. So I'll get to that. But if you just do it, I mean, it's amazing how much you do get done when you hire a coach because you've paid someone and then you don't want to show up and say, I haven't done it. And then it's amazing you find the time. 2020 best music lists. Oh, I love this. Yes, get inspiration from each other. Unfinished applications. Deleting old. I can really see this as a striking chord. Guys, you're going to feel so much better, and don't feel bad for taking the time in January to do that. It doesn't. There's no way you could have cleared up everything else by December. Sure. Next, we are on to creating your 2021 vision. So we're all at the beginning we're all at the beginning of the year with serious trust issues. This is my favorite meme so far ever. So I sent this out in my newsletter, and then on the 1st of January, I was with my boyfriend, and I found out that this year is the year of the ox, which is my year. So I was like, oh my God, it's my year. And he was like, what did you just post in your newsletter? Don't claim 2020 as your year. I was like, oh my God, I just did that myself. So don't do that. So I know we have trust issues. I know we wanted to plan 2020 and it didn't go to plan. So we might not want to plan, but I say the best way to predict the future is to create it. And the best way to create it is to visualize it. Now, also just to create your vision. So I don't know how you feel about Steve Jobs. That doesn't matter really. What I really wanted to get across is visions stretch us beyond what is currently possible. The way we got onto the moon is not by looking in our past and replicating what has been done, but by envisaging what is possible. The way Steve Jobs made those pieces of art, made tech, is he didn't look at what's possible, he envisaged something. He used his imagination to create something that he wanted to see in this world. And people doubted and they said it's not possible. And that's what your brain will always, always do. If it can't see a solution immediately or one or two solutions, it will say it's impossible and I should give up hope. So I really, really wanted you to not worry about the how, because first of all, new solutions to old problems are being invented all the time. So keep looking. And also, if you worry about the how of how you're going to get to your goal or your dream, what's going to happen is you're going to stop talking about your dreams. And when you stop talking about it, you stop proclaiming it to the world, but you also stop inviting people in to help you. And what was I going to do? Yes. I wanted to ask you, and you shared this in the comments whilst I read some, but also give you an example. Have you ever had it where you didn't know the how, but it just fell into place? Something magical, as if by magic, happened. Find your, yeah. So as if something magical happened. Amy Lawrence, regular dose of ability. So I'll give you an example of something magical. It's a small example, but I think it will drive it home. When I was starting, okay, Joanna Henley, my career, yes, there was something, yes, so you've had it. What was it? Your first freelance job. If you can write to each other so you can see how magic happens, or like how it happened, why was it so magical? Serendipity does exist. Finding self-help chapters that bring very true. Yeah, so the way I found it is I'd enrolled to do my master's for positive psychology and coaching psychology. I needed to find a 4-day-a-week job. My friends, and I also wanted it to be at least 30K because I live in London and I have a lifestyle. So I was like, and that was my vision. My friends managed my expectation. They were like, it's impossible. Not when you don't have a speciality. And like the jobs I was looking for were, I wanted low energy jobs so I could focus in on my dissertation. So the jobs I was looking for were admin, PA, events, anything like that. And yeah, it kind of felt impossible that there was going to be a 4-day-a-week job that paid 30K that just let me come in, do the job and leave. And right, yes, we've got big examples, and I really want you to read through this. On the recording, you can as well. So everyone said it was impossible, or would be possible like 2-3 days a week, or would be like 18K or 22K. And you know, truth be told, I was like, they're probably right. But I didn't give up hope, and I didn't shut the door on possibility. And then I saw a job at LinkedIn that was for 3 weeks full time. I was like, I'll take that job. It's at least a cash injection. So I took that job. I did it. They liked me, and then they were like, what are you doing for the rest of life? And I was like, I need a 4-day-a-week job. And they were like, would you like one here? I was like, oh my God, it's happening. But it was for about 6,000 less. I think it was about 24K, I think. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so close. But I didn't give up. And I was like, I'd love to if it's for 30K. And I remember the lady, she just took a breath. She was like, I think we can make that happen. I was like, yes, inside. And so I got it. And guys, I wouldn't have predicted the how. I wouldn't have said, yes, to get my 4-day-a-week job, I have to be strategic, get in there, do 3 weeks, all of that stuff. I couldn't have predicted the how. So don't get too hung up on the how. Oh yeah, I just wanted to pick up that picture. Keep talking about your dreams. It's a really nice photo. Okay, next. I want to find out from you, how are you with visualization or doing a vision for the year? Have you done it before? Do you struggle? Have you not done it before? Do you not like it? Can you tell me so I know where you're at? Struggle. Okay, tell me why you struggle. Never done it. No idea. Oh, please tell us. I will. Yes, I live by this. Amazing. I don't think visually. Okay, that's okay. Vision boarding. This is so fast. This is amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Don't really struggle with it. Can I? Oh, like, yeah, vision board. I read somewhere if you spend too long visualizing, you waste your time not doing it. Okay, fair point. I love to visualize, but it never seems to amount to anything. Can't stick to. I get too negative. Okay, I got it. I visualize all the time, sometimes too much. Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you, oh, so I didn't visualize before, and then I suddenly did. So I'll give you one, no, we're with time, good. So I'll give you one example of how I did it, and it was, because you don't have to have an actual concrete visualization, but I'm going to give you 3 ways into it that will hopefully get some of you in there. But there was one time, I've done many jobs, so there was one time I was leaving the luxury industry because I'd had enough of luxury, and I wanted, and I didn't know what I wanted, I just knew one thing. Well, I knew exactly what I wanted. I was like, I want something in the creative industries. I just want to be surrounded by creatives, and I don't want like one industry, I just want them all. I didn't know what that looked like. I also said I wanted to be working in central London, but like, or like close to central London, but like a chill, not too manic. I wanted a small team so we could learn from each other. And I wanted the offices to have big windows and so it'd be bright. That was my vision. So your vision doesn't have to be like a mammoth. I just envisaged the next 6 months. So I pictured that, and guess what? So I said I wanted something with the creative industries. I got a job in a company that was called Creative Industries Federation. Our offices were based in King's Cross, which is central but chill, based in central St. Martin, which is full of creatives. It's the creative uni. I was surrounded by creatives. It was a small team and we had great windows. So when that came true, I was like, oh my God, what else can I do? So just try it out with certain things, okay? This is how you try it out. Think opposites. So this one is for you if you struggle. Sometimes what you don't want is a lot more clear than what you do want. So write out what you don't want to feel like, and then think of the opposite. And actually do this afterwards, because a lot of the time you might think, well, the opposite is happy, but it's not. So the opposite of stressed, if you picture how you are in your days, you think of the opposite. For you, it could be calm. For someone else, it could be in flow. It could be empowered, right? And then what would that look like? Like, how would you begin your day differently if you were suddenly woke up and you were calm? Okay, that's one technique. Remember that one. I mean, or screenshot it, but you'll get the slides as well. Sorry if I didn't mention that. This one, so I've got my clients, and I've got clients tuning in. I always do the magic wand question with my clients, and I go into real great detail. But basically, it's if I waved a magic wand and you got your dream life, what would that look like? Now, I say if you got your dream life in 6 months or a year, so that it avoids the like MTV Cribs kind of answer, like I'd be rolling. Now, the last two, the bottom 2 questions are very, very important because they anchor you. So you might have a dream of like, I'm whatever, but when you're anchored in how your days look like and how your weeks feel, it gives you a more of an image. So if you were, say started your own business, how would your days look like? And really spend some time doing that, because sometimes it will unveil that you are like, oh God, it will feel really lonely. And you'll realize that you've got a fear of success block coming in. You might also envisage it, and I did it with my client recently, and she did this, and her ideal life had a morning routine. And after she went through and described her ideal day, I was like, great, okay, so what's your morning routine like now? And she was like, I don't have one. I was like, okay, good news. You don't need a magic wand for this. Should we maybe start? And then, well, I tested it first, like whether she actually wanted it. So this question really unlocks things for you and your days, because that's all you want. You don't want like, you don't want this like ridiculous dream that feels so far away. You want it tangible. And then the last one, this is really, really powerful. The what if and what would questions. Questions are the best way to unlock our imagination and what's already in our minds, because our brains are big search engines and they respond to questions. And you'll know this because you would have been asking yourself what if questions already, but in the worst case scenario. So what if it goes wrong? What if I'm ill? I coughed once on, I think, the 1st of January. And in 3 seconds, I was like already making plans for how I'm going to self-isolate and everything else. Like, oh my God, what if I have COVID? And then it just went, I have to cancel this webinar. Do I cancel this webinar? What do I do? Other things like that. So your mind will be so quick at firing off the worst case scenario, and do it a favor and balance it out. Start training it for the what if of the best case scenario. Like so. What would it be like to have my own business? What would it be like to feel calm and grounded when delivering a presentation? You step into that role. And when you ask that question, leave a minute for you to answer. Just because like you don't get like an answer within 2 seconds doesn't mean your brain doesn't have it. Just it's rusty. It's been practicing the what if everything goes wrong situation so well that it's like a cement track in here. And the what if everything goes right might just be like not even a trodden path over here. So you have to give it some time. What if I was secretly a really good leader? Or for anyone with money problems or anything else, what if I was secretly really good at money? And I just haven't, and I've just been practicing the thought that I'm not. I think a lot of people with money problems, like they're like, I've got money problems, but then, you know, you've been freelancing and self-employed for 5 years. So you are making money. If you actually have money problems, you might have gone back to full-time employment in like month number 2. What if I already have the skills in me to charge more? And what I've been doing is searching for skills outside of me, someone else to tell me how to do it, but actually I've got it inside me. Tell me which one resonated with you the most. If I get the chat. Ooh. Which one is the one that you're going to? I'm so glad it feels so much more manageable. Yes, I'm all about tangible things. So do, whenever you sign up to a webinar of mine, tangible, tangible, tangible. Yes, there will be a recording. The last one. Yeah, the what if questions are really, really good. Can someone? George Stoley will email the slides and they'll be recording. So don't worry about this whole thing. Yes, amazing. The second one definitely is I'm about to start delivering a course. Amazing. What if I already What if I already have the skills to charge more? Really hit home. Yes, Sean, you're going to up your prices. You don't need to explain why. You just up your prices. Felt quite revolutionary. Amazing. Well, guys, I really love your comments. Thank you so much. I am actually going to read through all of them. What next? So we've tied up loose ends. We've created a vision for 2021. Now things are going to get in our way. Time. And the way around that is more feelings, more purpose. I'm going to teach you how. Like I said, we're planning the year differently, so it has to be cognizant of your inner world. And the way we do that is with feelings in mind. If anyone has been meaning to read Joe Dispenza and has been putting that off for one of the books, this is your sign. Read Joe Dispenza. He's really good about the visualizing, creating your future. He's got many books out. I've only read one, which is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Yeah. So, thoughts are the language of the brain, feelings are the language of the body. A lot of the time we plan our weeks with just the thoughts in mind and just taking our brain on the journey. So we plan our weeks and we say, I've got to get this done this week. I don't feel like it, but tough shit is going to get done. And then we do it and then we have a shit week and then we wonder why we're hating life. We haven't got our body on board. Getting our body on board means emotionally connecting to your goals, which you do when you visualize and you do when you give them a meaning and a purpose, which is what we're going to do after this one. But getting your body on board means you won't burn out, because burnout is the mind saying, work, 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 like push on, you have to get this done. And the body being like, whoa, 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 you haven't checked in with me. We're meant to work as a team. You're saying, I don't have energy. You haven't given me energy. So you have to get them on board. This is 1 hour webinar, so I can't get into the detail of that, but another webinar will, and I'm giving you one thing that you can to make it tangible, how you get your body on board. Oh, I had to do a friend slide. Because this is what we do with feelings. We try and get rid of them, push them away. We eat them, we drink them, we avoid them. But if you plan with your feelings on board, so the emotionally intelligent way, prevents burnout and taps into your body's natural motivation. How you plan with feels. So you look at your day and your week and you say, how do I want to feel this week? So you've got tasks like, I think January, I have to pay my taxes again. That was self-employed taxes. And how I would naturally feel if I didn't check myself would be like, this is the part I hate about being self-employed. But how do I want to feel? I want to feel empowered. I want to feel like this is a breeze, right? That's how I want to feel. So you're aiming for the feelings, and that's how you get your body on board. Like, body, this is how we want to feel. And then you say, what do I need to think or do to feel this way? And actually give your brain time to answer. It's a powerful search engine machine powered with really good questions. It will give you the answers. So powered with this question, it will give you an answer if you let it. The answer could be, take more breaks for you. Don't be so hard on yourself. Reframe what you're doing. It could be, finally hire help. The VA is not as expensive as you think. Actually, Lillian here, who I work with, she's hired a VA and she's like, this is the best thing ever. And her VA, sorry, it's a virtual assistant. And her VA sounds absolutely amazing. So ask the question, and then the brain will give you the answer, because you've got your body on board and your body's like, oh, thank you. Finally, you're asking me. You could say, like, restructure your day so that you're running first thing in the morning. I don't know what it's going to say, but you'll find out when you ask it. Purpose prevents procrastination. So I'm coming towards the end. And when I say purpose, I don't mean a lofty purpose. I don't mean like I want to save the world. I mean something meaningful to you, right? So you need to make sure that whatever you're doing, like half the time, procrastination is because whatever you're doing, you don't want to do. It's not meaningful to you. And for example, if you're doing something for the company, and it might be meaningful for the company, but it's not meaningful to you. So you have to find the meaning in there. And I work with my clients on that specifically. And most of the time, the purpose that what you're doing is, it's okay to be selfish, by the way. When I mean purpose, when I mean find something fulfilling and meaningful to you, it's okay if what you want is to have passive income, or it's okay if what you want is to buy a house. That is meaningful to you. And the first purpose you should be going towards is anything that will make you feel safe, calm, and happy. So it's anything to do with get your finances in order. The first goal, put your gas mask on first, and then others second. The first one has to be you, because once you've reached that, then you've got more energy to give to other people. So my purpose for this year and my life is to diversify my income and set up different kind of income streams so that I'm not exchanging time for money. So that A, I can serve more people, and B, it means that if it boosts my energy. If I'm not always exchanging time for money, then I can be ill. I can take a holiday. I can do these things and not get stressed. Now, my passion is working with people and coaching and helping them. That is my passion. When it's your passion, you naturally want to give your all, but that's energy going out. So I have to make sure that my purpose is something that's going towards something that is a system where I have energy to give, right? And if I just set up these systems, I can help more people. That's my purpose, just sharing it there. Oh, before we get onto this. And like I said, I will make everything really tangible. I'm going to introduce you to the motivational triad. One thing to know about this is we have two parts of our brain, the prefrontal cortex, which is a part of the brain that has that we've not had for centuries, as in it is the latest one to appear. It's responsible for planning and things like that. So as the brain's evolved, the prefrontal cortex evolved, and the prefrontal cortex is great. However, the reptilian brain, the chimp brain, the primordial brain, whatever you call it, the original, the OG, the original brain is ancient. It does not speak to us in thoughts. It doesn't in language, because when it was around, language did not exist. It is more powerful than our prefrontal cortex. Our prefrontal cortex, it plans. It can delayed gratification, putting something off, everything. That's our prefrontal cortex. But the thing that sabotages us, the thing that makes us procrastinate, the thing that fucks us up and we don't know where it's come from, that's the reptilian brain. To understand the reptilian brain, you have to understand its motivations. Here they are. Three things only. Seek pleasure, avoid pain, exert the least amount of energy. I'm taking the slide from someone else, but it's energy, effort. So if you haven't taken time to find meaning in what you're doing, so either you do meaningful things, or if there's stuff that you have to do, you find meaning in them. If you haven't taken the time to do that, then the things on your to-do list, the brain is going to see as effort. And it's going to be like, well, I've only got one job, or 3 jobs: seek pleasure, avoid pain, and make sure you don't do that thing. Because the way you feel about that thing that you've got to do, that task, is you don't want to do it, right? And when you don't want to do it, it means you're going to exert more energy. It's going to take more from you. And the brain reads that, and it's like, I got your back. So we're going to seek pleasure, go on Instagram. We're going to avoid this pain, and we're going to avoid this energy. So don't you worry, I've received your instructions. So what you have to do is play the algorithm. What you have to do is to find meaning, find purpose. So there's things you don't want to do, but then you're going to be like, it's meaningful because it will allow me to do this. It's purposeful, and I want to feel more empowered by finances. I want to feel so proud of myself that I've completed doing my CV. I want to feel ease because I wake up and updating my portfolio isn't on my to-do list. And so you connect with feelings, and you have a purpose, and then your brain's like, okay, yeah, that sounds like a pleasure, and we're seeking it. There, simple. You've got that tool now for the rest of your year. So we're coming to the end, and I can't wait to answer your questions. And this is where we've been. Spend January clearing up those energy leaks. You're going to feel so good. Tell me about them. Some of you got my email. Tell me about them, or in Insta. I love hearing about people's particular energy leaks. I had a client who was like, it's the lime scale in the kettle for her. So you're creating a 2021 vision. And then you're tapping into those things to prevent burnout. And all of this increases your motivation when you plan with the feeling. So, is this the year you get a coach? And if it is, and if you vibed with my vibe, book yourself a free breakthrough call. It's a 30-minute free breakthrough call because I want to know if I can help you. Maybe I can't help you, maybe it's a different coach, maybe it's something else, maybe it's a book. If I can, I surely will, but it's, I also want to hear about your problems and what you want to achieve. And you get to find out about coaching as well. So if you are like, this is the sign, book a call in now. If you're like, maybe I don't want to be pushed into anything, sign up to my newsletter. Because there's a course in me. I'm going to do a course, pending the name, Career Clarity, something like that, but it's about doing the inner work. And if you're like, you don't know, but you want just a taster of coaching or what's like coaching with me, then I've got a Review and Renew, which is running till the end of January. Review 2020 to pull out the themes and plan a roadmap for when I say roadmap, it's like I said, simple. It's more about energy, like really focused roadmap. And it's just basically a 1-hour coaching call with audio and the questions over them. So there's different ways of working with you, but whatever happens, thank you so much for tuning in. Stop share. Thank you for tuning in so much. There's like up to 400 people on this webinar, John. That was pretty massive. Thank you so much for joining in. Let me do these questions. So it's all going to be on a recording. So if you can drop in a question and I'll answer it and you can watch the recording. So first question is, I'm very prone to burnout. I hustle hard on lots of different diverse projects all at one time because that is how they present themselves. Once my plate gets too full, I get very overwhelmed and tap out. Yeah, that's burnout. You just tap out. I do continue feeding all my interests, desires, and goals while still achieving and striking balance. So this type of lifestyle choice is more sustainable. So this type of lifestyle, I do continue feeding all my interests, desires, and goals while still achieving and striking balance. So this type of lifestyle choices more sustainable? I'm not sure what the question is. Hang on a second. So it's about burnout and having lots of projects on. Get onto focus, simplify, get onto what is the one most important thing to do for your actual purpose. And like I said, purpose, it's okay if it's like ego driven, if you want to buy a house, or if you don't want to work there anymore for something else, focus in on that for the first month, 2 months, and do that, just focus. Now, different interests, I relate. That is why I got 5 books on the go. I'm like, Jung, oh my God, Jung. And then I'm like, oh, I have to read up on ADHD because it's showing up loads with my clients and how I can serve them better. And I do that as well. But I've done the energy leaks where this December I was like, I'm going to complete things and just complete certain things because your energy, you have more energy for completing the one thing that's going to get you to your purpose. I hope I've answered it. So you guys, if you do have questions, there's a Q&A box. If you can put it in there, that way I can see it, because sometimes the comments run so fast that they disappear. So just copy and paste into the question and answers. Okay, Yasmin, question. Love the list of clearing leaks. But what if I get stuck in clearing endless tasks and then avoid doing the launch? Standing in the doorway forever, waiting until everything else is ready. Good point. This is what I like to do with energy leaks. Mind map them, so write them all out and do like 2 or 1, whatever it is that will make you feel super proud that you're done. Then you'll have them there to come back to any time that you want to just feel good about yourself. Do 2 or 3, whatever, set a number that you're like, I'm going to do these and will feel proud. There will be others, but I'll just come back to them throughout. And then look at why you're avoiding the launch. What is it? Is it gremlins? How do you think? Fear of failing, anything else like that? Then you have to do the mind work on and around that. Get a coach, or there's plenty of really good Facebook groups for online business owners or what you're doing, and then you can get an accountability buddy there as well. Next question. What is your best advice for people that are lost and don't know what to do next? Oh, hi, I'm a career coach. Alvaro Sayas. I'm going to be biased. Get a coach. Stop doing it on your own. I was doing it on my own for ages. That was my quarter life crisis years. I was like, I'll find the answer by scrolling through the LinkedIn scroll of doom, and you're not finding it and you feel crap about yourself. So I'd say get a coach, because it just makes it so much easier. Lipstick brand and color number. Oh, Laura Mercier. Addiction. Okay, I have a hard time allowing myself. Hello, Mallory. She's a Canadian. Mallory is one of my clients, Canadian, who's now in Germany. I have a hard time allowing myself to do free time things as I feel guilty if I'm not working. What is a good first step to release guilt like that? Thank you for asking that that question. It's, I think, really, I know a lot of people have that as well, because you feel good when you work. Actually, a lot of my clients have that. So look at the, it's about your sense of worth. That like, I am good when I'm working, when I'm being productive, when I'm doing something. And then when I'm not, what does your mind fill that in with? Because a lot of, we grow up and we get praised for doing things like, well done, you cleared your bed. Well done, you've done this. Well done, you've done that, right? So it gets into us like, well done, I'm good, and I'm a good person when I've done stuff, right? And so that kind of gets imprinted to us. So we have to be like, I am good without doing stuff. Also, you can cheat the system by saying, you know how in sports professions, or anyone in sports, they train, and so they have their gym days and then they have their rest days. And they know that rest is as crucial for the bigger picture of getting where they are. So what you can do is say, me resting is me fueling for the work that I want to be doing. And also I'd really recommend doing a course or learning something that's completely different to your career. I know you're really creative, so it's like photography and art is what you do, but doing something totally different, like surfing, I don't know, something that where you can learn something new. And that kind of, when you learn something new, it always re-energizes you. Thank you for asking the question. Next one. You can see you guys commenting. Okay, Gary Portman, I'm a competitive athlete. Okay, so I have my end, this is Christina. Christina, thank you so much for emailing. I have my end goals figured out, personal, business. Personal somehow works easier, I feel I have more control. Business, I struggle figuring out the next step, which stresses me out, and I feel I'm at a lower position than I really am. Okay, figuring out the next step. Like, I'm not sure exactly what is the blocker. So there's things that can block it. There's beliefs that you can't do it. There's beliefs that the how doesn't exist. I would talk to someone. Personally, I always figure things out when I'm talking to people, which is why I have a coach, but also peers, anything else. So talk to people. The more you talk, the more the clogs go off in your brain. And you know, as you're talking, someone can just ask a very simple question. You'd be like, oh God, I didn't even think of that. So I would say talking it out. Like, what is a struggle? What if it wasn't a struggle? What is the next step? And also just say, what if the next step is going to be the wrong step? And I'm okay with that, because I know that we learn from failure. Taking action, when you get more clarity when you're in motion. Taking action gives you clarity. So ease yourself of the pressure of the next step being it and perfect. What if the next step is wrong? And that's okay, but it will get me from point of 0. Hope that helped. Okay, Andrea Siegel. Great presentation, Dina, thank you. My problem is my lack of confidence, not trusting that I can achieve my full potential. I've been there. I keep finding myself in situations where I feel unhappy and unfulfilled. Where should I start? Yes, so confidence is, I know you might have low confidence in, say, career or wherever it is that you are feeling low confidence, but know that it's not universal. You have places where you feel confident in. Also, confidence comes from taking action, just as you were never confident when you first rode a bike, but you did after practice. So will your confidence within your career build and build and build as you're taking action. Achieving full potential, it's hard. Well, it's not hard, and don't do it alone. I know my answers are really, I'm sorry to say that my answers are like, get a coach, but it's that's how you get clarity, like talking through with someone to find out your clarity. Also, what I think you need is definitely talking to someone where you're going to get a boost of confidence that the answer is out there. It's not as hard as you think it isn't, and you get the little steps that you can do to be like, okay, let me figure my potential out here. One thing you can do is think, what people make me feel alive? Who is my tribe? So when we're looking for the next step, potential career or anything else, tune in to who do you feel really good around. I knew I always felt really good around creative people. So I intuitively took myself to that kind of company. And then when I started coaching people, I was like, I'm coaching creatives. And that is my tribe and the people that make me feel like alive. So sometimes you have to go there. And before that, actually, before I got to creatives, I was like, I really want to hang around entrepreneurs and just learn from them. And that's when I found out about Escape the City, their career changes as well. So you can look into that. And at the time when they were quite small, I used to volunteer and do the events. So I'd go to a lot of talks and just hear people and how they changed their careers. And from that, I knew, I was like, I do not want to work. I don't want to create an app. So I was listening to people who had different kind of jobs and seeing, and they were doing really good talks and being really open about what exactly their life looked like. And I was like, these guys are always on the computer. If anyone develops an app or something like that, and I'm like, I don't want that. So you get clear about what you don't want, and then that is kind of, and then you're like, and I knew I wanted to work with people and one-on-one. So you just kind of knock out certain gray areas one by one. Don't expect it to come as like a big light bulb. You're just getting clarity on the little steps. Lead with energy. Go and put yourself where you feel really good. Whoa, 35 questions, John. I'm gonna look back. How do I create? Muse Khan. Really great name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's great. How do I create a mastermind group of close colleagues to achieve goals of our own using great feedback from them? Really good question. A mastermind, I honestly think the future is groups and masterminds. That's why I want to create my course that's going to have like alumni thing. Can you, I would join groups, other groups first, Facebook groups, masterminds, or coaching programs, group coaching, or something else like that, and find people that way. And then when you team up, then you bring in someone else's network, because you only need one person, and then you've got two you bringing in each other's networks. Or you can just reach out. If you've got a group of close colleagues, why don't you just say, would you like accountability? You can start off gentle instead of being like, let's do a mastermind, because sometimes that will scare people. They're like, that sounds like a commitment, and it sounds like a lot of energy, depending on who you're going to be asking. So what you can do, and this is also for all of you, set up weekly, I don't know if you can do this, accountability sprint of an hour and a half. I have that with my fellow coaches. It's an hour and a half, and you just say, hey, let's do an accountability where you work on whatever you work on, but you switch Zoom on, and you say what you're working on, and then every half hour you tap in. It's like, how's it going? Is anyone stuck? Does anyone want any help? And that you get a feel for how it's like to have accountability and to work with someone, and they get a feel for how it is to work with you, and that could then change into something. I also, I'm coming into the end, but I did have a question that was emailed to me that I wanted to answer, which was, how do I network in lockdown and in all of this, which is a really good idea. First of all, has anyone heard of Clubhouse? Clubhouse is this new, yes, Mallory, yes, a new Lily and you would. Are you on it? I've got Android. Yes, I'm jealous of anyone that's on it. Please send me a link. So basically, Clubhouse is the new networking thing. Fuck Twitter, fuck LinkedIn. It's in beta stage. So at the moment, it's invite only. It's only to iPhone users. But apparently, my coach has now renamed it Crack House because she's absolutely addicted. And you get to network. And there's two things that is absolutely, yeah, Clubhouse is amazing. Two things that are really important. It doesn't play around with algorithms. So you don't create an echo chamber of you, unlike Facebook and everything else. So you really do get to network from people outside your network. Also, it's great for introverts. And the other thing, great for introverts, you can also leave voice notes. So really people can get to know you. I know some people don't like voice notes, but you get to know someone through their voice. And I give this an example, even though I'm not on it, but it's an example of new solutions popping up all the time to old problems. So don't give up. Don't give up hope. There'll be something out there. Keep talking, keep showing up to webinars like this. Like you've joined and now you've got some information, so you can join Clubhouse and check around, and then you can, yeah, connect. And the other thing is, don't think of it as networking. Just think of it as, how do I socialize? How do I find out about people? Because networking isn't just about me connecting with you and you getting something from me and me getting something from you. It's also about finding out about people, what they do, how they are. So if you just connect to people and be like, how's it going? How's your industry looking? What are you thinking about? If you just look at it socializing, then you're off and away. I don't have time to go through all the other questions. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much you guys have been absolutely amazing. I love all of these comments, and thank you so much for tuning up and asking all these questions. But I have to wrap up on time though. John, over to you.
Yes, I'll come back in. This was amazing. And I'm really sorry we didn't get a chance to get through all those questions, but guys, do connect with Dina if it's across her socials, her LinkedIn, all that fun stuff. There was a question about how to overcome failure, which I thought would have been really nice to touch upon. But If it means putting it in a follow-out email along with this recording, those slides, all that fun stuff, I can do that.
Okay, how about this? On my Instagram, I'll do a video on that coming up in soon. Okay.
I love that. Yes, amazing. Well done. A huge thank you to you, Dina, everyone as well who submitted those questions, engaged in the chat. You guys are always incredible. Hopefully we can see you at more events, but that's it. It's goodbye.
And Happy New Year.
Yes, done. Fingers crossed for a good one. Thank you so much, Dina. Thank you, everyone. Bye.